All right, everybody. Today we'll be doing an explanation on how the enemy of humanity, how he functions, how he works. I already explained how to unlock him, but I realized that kind of late, honestly, that I probably should have explained all his powers and not just been like, "Oh, this is how you unlock him." I guess I forgot that some people would like to, you know, actually know how to use him because it's not the most intuitive thing in the world, but I did figure out how to do it. And what he does is he copies hit type abilities. This version of the enemy of human that's not him. This version of the enemy of humanity can copy like hit type powers. This means that if the power has to do with being touched and you use your fist like that to do it, that is how you that's how you those are the only kinds of powers you can copy. You can't copy a I can't copy the advanced regenerator. It doesn't work like that. I can punch him, I guess, but I can't really do anything else. So right now, what you can do is you can only do it like this. You have to touch this hand. So after I just copied the Crusher's ability, he's a hit type ability, remember? It has to do with hitting. So he has to touch his hand very lightly. You don't want to get crushed. And you notice that he has 3 slots on his arm. Each one represents a stored power. And if you click toggle switch selected power slot, you can switch again because yeah. And here, now it'll give you it'll show you um what power you have selected. So because this is in slot 1, this is the first slot. So now it'll do that. I mean, it was already doing that, but you know, I just wanted to make sure you knew how to like toggle between them. And now he just has the Crusher's power. Boom. This works with all hit type abilities. Every single ability that has to do with a hit, a punch, you can copy them and you can store multiple powers at once. It's very, very cool power actually. He's very strong. Up next is the true enemy of humanity. He is an advanced regenerator, and he functions a little differently. He still has that same power that I just explained, but he has... Where is it? No, is this the one that just has the extra, No, I think this is just a stronger version of him. It's the same as the normal enemy of humanity. I think it's this one or this one that gets all the extra powers. I think it's this one. Right now he's basically the same, just stronger and can also regenerate his limbs. So now instead of just if he were to lose his limbs, just losing them, and also he has a lot of energy, so he's mostly fine as long as you aren't completely eviscerating him. That's really the only difference between this one and this one. He is like strong, but yeah, he's the same, basically the same as this version of the enemy of humanity. Can still store powers, steals powers. It's all the same stuff. Up next would be the struggling enemy. This one eventually turns into this one, the shattered one. So eventually he'll just start, yeah, doing that. But he does gain another ability. He does have another one. Other than unknown, he has another one. And it says on activation, look into a person's soul and copy their gifts. It costs 250 energy plus the base cost of the copied power to use. Let's see. Copy powered. So instead, I mean power copied. So instead of just being able to take touch-based things, he can now copy other gifts that other characters and creatures actually have. So hopefully this works. You see now an absorber. Move him out the way. Let's just make him full of energy just to see. Power copied, absorb touch. Now let's see. No, why isn't it working? Am I doing this wrong? Well, oh, there it is. Oh wow, it absorbed it into his feet. Well, it did work. It just put it into his feet. Now let's see if I can... Yep, there we go. I've absorbed it into most of my body parts. Now, whenever I touch something, you have to do it multiple times for each piece of the body, which is unfortunate. You have to look directly at them, which really sucks. But now... Oh, I have to enable it. Stupid. It's the wrong person. Enable. 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 And soon he will be able to... He has stolen the gift of absorption. So now that all this has happened, he is essentially... Oh! Yeah, and that happens regardless. He eventually becomes that anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. And this perfectly segues into how you use these powers. Now, all his other powers are the same, except he has a little more. Now he has this. It's not a power, it's a description. It says shattered, lost, fragmented. Was I whole before? Echo. I can't break. Something binds. Stop it. But he now has... So that's just a description, not really a power. He has greed. Deal blunt damage on hit. The damage scales with the amount of power that the user possesses. So the more powers that he has, the more damage this will do to him. Not to mention the fact that he already steals energy, and because of the way I, demonstrated his power. He self-fusion. I didn't know that was an option. Looks like we're learning new things today. But he does have this passive ability, which is called the Fog of Charity. It steals nearby humans' energy. Stolen energy will add to the maximum energy of the user, which he's always gaining, by the way. He always gains 1 tick every half second, it looks like. And infinite potential. On activation, gain a random power. Costs 100 of max energy after getting power. After getting power, reduces max energy by amount of cost of received gift. So essentially, at the cost of his maximum energy, he can just randomly apply more powers to himself, which is extremely broken because this makes this punch infinitely more powerful. Eh. Like, did you see how much damage that punch did? This is an extremely powerful character. What is self-fusion? Oh my god. He can make certain punches he can make certain attacks his main attack. Wow. That So we're confused. This is something that I didn't know I could do. He confused with himself to make certain abilities just better. So it says this essentially creates like a domain expansion. And if you use empty arena, you can mix that with another power, and it'll make it so that that power happens within the arena. Like, look here, wait, just an empty place. So radius gives uses max energy. It says fusion effect amplifies healing abilities of the main power on fuse. Empty arena. Fusion effect. Cost of this ability is halved. 100% chance to create a short absorb link on trigger. Fusion effect deals additional damage to the target depending on the max energy of the user. So all of this, 50% chance to create grass slash on trigger. Grass slash purges extra energy for each passive ability of the target. Wow. User will heat up on trigger. There you can honestly, if you just mash this, you can give yourself whatever you want. Do a self fusion. He has so many powers now. So now he can shift his form. He can overclock. Enable empty arena. And madness area. This is good. I'm not gonna explain all these powers, but a lot of these are very good. And you can do self fusion. With them to ascend to instead of needing another person, you can just fuse with yourself. Where is the area? There it is. Empty area. I mean empty arena. Wow. Let's do this. So in order to activate this, now that I've fused him with himself, if I activate that power now that he's fused, so if this is enabled, now whenever there's people nearby, I can create an absorption effect immediately. Based on everybody who's within this radius. So as long as they're close enough and the max energy is great enough, this radius will just keep getting bigger, and now he's essentially an even better absorber. And you can do this with different powers. Like, I'm assuming you can do it with the Rotten God too. Like, if you give him Rotten God powers, God, I could only imagine. I'm not going to be doing a full review, but now that I fully understand how this works, let's give him a lot of powerful beings to steal from. And he can just keep doing this. And he also just got one of the Rotten God's abilities. Wow. And yeah, I'm not going to do everything. You guys can experiment with this whole thing for yourselves, but there are clearly lots of different things you can do. I'm not gonna waste any more of your guys' time. I just wanted to see something. But that's about it, honestly. That's how you use the Enemy of Humanity. You can use them however you want, each different version, and then, yeah, no, I'll be seeing you.